quick history, like every other Scotch distillery, burned down, rebuilt, burned down, rebuilt, burned down, rebuilt, collapsed, rebuilt, bought again, done. Alright everybody, welcome back to another episode of Everyday Whiskey. I'm Dan.
And I'm Mike.
And this is our Aberlour special, a distillery that is near and dear to our hearts. Whiskeys that we both love with a pretty big passion.
Yeah, these are phenomenal.
So, you guys have not heard of Aberlour before. They're very, I'd say they're more on the crafty side of a Scotch distillery, a little bit smaller. They focus very heavily on quality as opposed to quantity. They don't focus on age statement nearly as much as most of your bigger distilleries, where your age statement derives your cost at the end of the day. Obviously, we do have a 16-year age statement we're going to use, but where they really kind of hit their stride is with their some of their sherry cask finishes, Madura, stuff like that. Their cask finishing is really what sets them apart from the basically from the field.
Yeah.
So, quick history, like every other Scotch distillery, burned down, rebuilt, burned down, rebuilt, burned down, rebuilt, collapsed, rebuilt, bought again, done.
And that's that.
Yep, that's the history of Aberlour.
It's located in Speyside. It's actually in the heart of the village of Speyside. However, it is still technically a highland because of the way the geography is laid out. Speyside is in the highland area, but if you call yourself a highland, you can't call yourself a Speyside, and all those fun
this
logistics.
potato can't potato, but that potato can't potato.
There's a lot of like logistics. I mean, same thing with like champagne. If you make champagne in Champagne, France, it could be called champagne. If it's anywhere else, it's sparkling.
If it bubbles in me, it makes me happy, and I call it champagne.
Yeah, exactly. So enough with the technicalities. It's a Speyside that's in the Highlands.
But now, whiskey time.
Yes. So we're going to start off with the 16 year. This is the Aberlour 16. This one is matured for, obviously, 16 years in a combination of...
I thought it would be 15.
Yeah, right? It's actually a 10-year aged whiskey. No. So it's matured for 16 years in a combination of American oak casks, and then they use sherry butts also.
So sherry is their, like, predominant secondary casking.
Yep.
And, like, the thing that Aberlour does is they... Basically, like where I said before, where they don't focus on age statement, they focus on their secondary casking, which would be starting in an ex-bourbon cask, as every Scotch has to, and finishing in whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah, sherry.
But they purchase and use very, very highly rated sherry barrels. So they don't disclose names. I'm sure they do in a couple, but I couldn't find any names. But they're very sought after, very expensive sherry barrels, and especially in the Abuna, you will taste it.
You can smell it from here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't even have to hold it.
You
can tell right off the bat there's sherry cask.
Yeah, the only thing that bummed me out with the 16 was it was 80 proof. And I felt like if it was a higher proof, it really would have came through a little more. I felt like it kind of fell flat.
Yeah.
I've had this before, but we want to do an Aberlour special, and these are our two... Now, I'm not saying I don't like it, but these are our two favorite ones, I think, to showcase.
Definitely.
Because there's a CASG, really there's a 12-year, there's the Abuna, there's a 16-year, and there's... another one.
And these two bottles both have some sentimental value. This was given to us by a very close friend of ours. Whiskey Stork, yep. And then this I actually gifted.
Yeah, so we can say it. This was my housewarming gift.
Yeah, that was the housewarming gift. So, and actually it was the same Whiskey Stork who helped me with this recommendation, and him and I nearly fell off the seat when we tried it. So we knew right away.
Yeah, it was like this bottle blew my freaking pants off.
Oh, it might be up there with that Weller.
No, yeah, it's up there.
Because that was definitely...
See, the nose on this is so promising. It's so big and rich.
It's sweet.
I watched a video where some dude said it smelled like fucking hops.
Yeah, and it doesn't smell like hops. It's definitely warm, fruity. There's a lot of spicy sweetness.
I get spicy sweetness. I get cherry.
Yeah, the sherry.
And do you get black tea? I get a little black tea.
A little,
like herbal. I think herbal might be
actually.
Really fun.
It kind of smells like some Lipton tea.
Big apple.
Yeah.
Big apple.
Plum. A little bit of oak.
You get some dark fruit in there. That's my whole thing. Is like
there's definitely dark fruit,
but then it just washes out. Like it comes in so hard with the flavors, and then it just there's really not much. It's not lingering. I think if they had either not aged it longer, 16 years is long as hell. It's one of the highest aged bottles that we actually have in the inventory. But I think if it was like 93 proof, not between 93 and 100, I think this really would have amped up the flavor a little bit.
I think if I had to put a flavor to this, definitely dried fruits like dark fruit. Like
I think figs, apples,
plum maybe. I don't know. I don't
no,
know
it's not. It's not deep enough for plum.
That's what I. Yeah. So a lot of reviews you'll read
I get
online.
dirt
They
now.
say
Smell
plum.
again. Go back to it. I get dirt, like earth, super earthy.
Yeah.
Like it's like underneath it. Like you really give it a good. You really get some earth to it. Like I said, the nose. I just wish this whiskey tasted as good as the nose did. Like I'm so thankful that our friend gave us the bottle, and I'll never be.
And it's a phenomenal bottle.
Yeah, it's a great bottle. I just think it could have been better.
Yeah, because the nose is so deceptive. I mean, it smells of just this sweet. I don't even know, sweet, florally, a little bit of raisin. Like it smells really good, and not that it doesn't taste good. It's just the taste is not as strong as as the nose is.
But overall, I think these go for about between 75 and 90, somewhere in there. I try to ballpark the price because every store is different, every region is different. I think that's a super suitable
for
bottle.
A decent Scotch. Yeah, definitely.
For a 16-year Scotch between 70 and 90, that's awesome.
Yeah, Lagavulin, that's right in that price range. I mean, all your 16 years old.
However, the Abuna, which is one of their more this is one of their super accoladed whiskeys. Mm-hmm. This is batch 67. This has won gold medals. This is pretty much one of the most sought after scotches from this distillery. It's cask strength, which that means a big boy whiskey.
Yep.
So this one I think was at 58.
Yep.
59.8. It changes every year. Like batch 24 was 60.8. It changes by 2-3% every year. Mm-hmm. Once again, aged in sherry casks or secondary, finished in sherry casks, started in ex-bourbon casks. Well, let's see if it says the actual sherry they use. I love so you can't see it from my angle or from your angle, but the bottle top on this is so wide.
Yeah, it's a big ass top.
All right, so some quick back history on Abuna. I could be saying this wrong the whole fucking time.
I think it's Abuna.
I think it's Abuna too.
It translates directly to original. And basically what the whole meaning of that is I'm trying to see if they have some tips on here to help refresh my memory, but
all right,
I'm going to shoot from the hip here. So,
means origin.
Yeah, the origin of this was the current founders, I believe, of Aberlour. They discovered, I think it was a time capsule, and in that capsule they uncovered...
It was a bottle of whiskey.
It was the original bottle of Aberlour whiskey. So naturally what they did is they dissected that bottle.
By drinking half the bottle.
Drinking it and doing all kinds of science stuff that I don't understand.
This was long enough ago where there wasn't now where everyone's they're very aware of what they're doing. This is when they're oh shit, a bottle of whiskey. Yeah. Let's get messed up.
So they took that bottle, they dissected it, they really studied it, and they wound up recreating that original recipe from 1879, which should be right on the front up there.
And that's what Abuna means in Gaelic. It means the origin.
Yeah.
And this is supposed to be their quintessential Scotch from Aberlour.
Yes.
So, I already drank it. I know what it tastes like. Big cinnamon, big shortbread.
Yeah.
It's almost like shortbread and cinnamon with a little bit of butter and honey. I get butter. Oh. I always get weird movie theater butter, but it's it's on the palate.
It's amazing. The proof is right up there. What is it? It's 90.
59.8.
Yeah, 59.8. So it's a lot of proof.
Yeah, and it's just it's cinnamon, it's toffee,
119-ish,
it's nutmeg, it's baking spices, it's every big flavor you want from a cask strength whiskey. Whiskey.
And it's got a little bit of that punch to it, which I like. I like a little bit of a burnt. That's not a bad thing.
But that's where the 16 made it fell off. This just if this is a brick wall, this is just an F-350 just going right through it.
Yeah.
It just keeps going and going and going, and you'll taste almost like smoking a cigar. The next day you'll wake up tasting this.
Yeah.
It is one of the longest, biggest finishing scotches I've ever had, whiskeys I've ever had. Period.
The flavor and the taste is there to back it up that you don't even really notice it.
We're not pulling punches because our friend recommended these bottles. Mm-hmm. These are legitimately amazing bottles of scotches, especially the Abuna. Mm-hmm. The Abuna is this is my favorite bottle of scotch.
Yeah, it's
period.
It's delightful.
It's just the nose is so thick, and then like usually what happens, ever have a big nose, like sometimes it never follows through, but this is just like it nails it.
It does, yeah. I highly recommend if you ever, and so actually, this is going to change from time to time.
Well, it's a new batch every year.
Yeah, every year there's a new batch, so it's going to change a little bit. It's going to be different. There's a couple batches that are highly sought after. This one's really good. This is the 67, we said?
Yeah, batch 67. This is the one that won the gold medal. I forgot which contest, forgive me, but it won several gold medals in spirits competitions last year.
But I definitely recommend, if you ever see this in a store and you're looking for a scotch, pick it up. You won't be disappointed. It's got that heavy hitting, that punch to it like a good American bourbon has, and then it's just got all those delightful notes that a rich scotch has.
And this one, unfortunately, is going to be closer up by $100.
Yeah, this is going to get up there a little bit more.
But I think well worth it.
120. I didn't pay that price.
I've seen it as low as 95, and I've seen it as much as 130.
Yeah,
I think that's the 130 is a bit high at that point. You should probably just go with like Lagavulin 16 or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is a totally different scotch. That's Isla, but just as far as quality, like paralleled, $100. I think it's like
the closer to $100 and even better, the closer to $90 you could find this. Definitely pick it up.
Pick it right up. But
if you know the right people, you can get it cheaper.
So they say dark chocolate, and maybe that was a little bitter note I got. I didn't get that. I got the cherries. I got cinnamon. I got ginger.
Ginger's
definitely there. But either way, this is Aberlour. If you guys take anything away from this episode, just know that this distillery puts a whole lot of passion where they might not put out a lot of quantity.
Yeah.
And the product is always as good as it can be.
Yeah. They're great bottles.
I may have not been not a big fan. I like the 16-year, but it's a solid bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
And it tastes what it should taste like, and the Abuna is just, it's amazing. Yeah. That's all we say. It's amazing.
Yeah. They're both two thumbs up, both of them. Recommend either or.
Super.
Definitely that one, though.
Yep, definitely this guy right here.
Yeah.
But, as we say at the end of every episode, except for the last episode and the episode before that, you should do 3 things. We'd like you guys to like the video if you like the content. Please subscribe to our channel and click your notification bell so you can see what other shenanigans we're up to. And number 3, if you hated this episode, comment and tell us how much you didn't like it.
Yep. And then also tune in on Tuesdays at around like 7:15, 7:30. We're going to be going live on our Instagram.
Probably about 7:30 to this way.
Yeah.
We have a new segment on our Instagram Live called Shelf Talk, which basically we pick something off the shelf.
And we talk about it.
And we drink it and talk about it.
Live as I edit this episode.
Exactly. So everybody have a great week. Stay safe. Cheers.